Okay, welcome to the new consultant orientation for our TOTL line organization, coming to you on January 3rd, our first orientation of the new year and our live version for January. If you're listening to this recording, feel free to, of course, ask questions to your director. And I want to make sure that if you are listening to the recording, if you don't already have the document out in front of you, then you can go ahead, pause the recording, go back to the new consultant orientation album in our TOTL Line Facebook group and download the document and either print it out or look at it on the screen so that you can follow along and fill out the blanks as we go along. My name is Lindsay Markland, and I am a two-star director with our TOTL Line organization, and I'm coming to you from Whitehorse, Yukon tonight. So let's get started with what we're going to do today. So welcome, thank you very much for joining us. I'd like to get to know those of you that are online with us tonight. So tell me in the chat who your director is and where you're logging in from. And also, of course, you can use the chat for questions as we're going through. But a brief overview of today's call. Really, you want to remember as we're going through today that people come into this business for a variety of reasons, and there are many ways to make money with it. So get your orientation guideline out and your pen ready, and we're going to get started. So you probably have already received a welcome email from your upline director. However, you can find their name once you activate your site. And if you haven't done that yet, that's a-okay. But there's a couple of names that are going to be important for you as you're going along. One is your premium elite business leader of our TOTL Line organization, and that is Cora Putz. So it's spelled P-U-T-Z. We like to joke that she didn't marry a Putz, she married a Putz. So I always say in my head, Cora puts it down to remember I'm saying it correctly so that you know. And now also our Vice President of Sales Leadership in Canada is Sonia Blaney. We're all a part of the region called Northern Stars, and that's a really, really great pieces of information to know, because you will see that Sonia gives us challenges every once in a while, and you'll see those posted in our TOTL Line organization, as well as our Northern Stars Facebook group as well. So there's lots of information online for you, especially on Facebook. Now, you want to, the first thing, if you haven't done already, is activating your my.tupperware.ca site. If it's your first time logging in, you're going to be using your username, which is your consultant ID, and your password is your birth date in DDMM format. So once logged in, you're going to choose a preference for a subscription. The site is basic. That is the free site. We'll chat a little bit about more of the options in just a bit, though. Now, if you don't know your director's name yet, once you log in here and go through the setup, you will find your director's name on the My Sales Personal Summary page. Also, this is a great area to click Training on the homepage to begin your journey to success. Now, this is the time that you want to take out your success toolbox. So if you've got your kit in front of you, go ahead and take out the smaller, colorful box. And we're going to go through all the items that are in it. If you haven't got your kit yet, that's okay. You don't need it in front of you to go through the webinar. But it is certain, some people find it very handy to go through the things as we're talking about them. So inside that box are a bunch of business supplies. So first, your Getting Started guide. Now, this is a great resource to come back to after the webinar. A ton of information in here that can summarize lots of things that we've talked about, plus add more details. You also get a Date Me planner. Now, this is a great planner for finding important information like brochure end dates, the end of our sales month, which is generally the last Friday of the month. We also have 5 party planning folders in here, and I love these party planning folders. I use them still now, 6.5 years later, but I love them especially when I started because it's a really great guide for the basics of what you're going to talk about with either yourself for your first party or for your first outside parties with separate hosts. You also get a career guide. Now, this is a great thing to go over to really learn how you can earn a six-figure income with Tupperware, drive a free vehicle, and earn trips like Disney and Hawaii. Now, when I first started Tupperware and I heard about these things, I thought, oh, that's not really true. People don't actually do those things. But now I know it is true because I've done it myself. So if you haven't met someone on our organization that has yet, now you've met me, and you can use those as real life examples. So as I said earlier, we have 52 directors as a part of our Tupperware organization, and a good majority of those people drive free vehicles or are on there, and the rest of them are on their way to driving a free vehicle, and everybody's on their way to earning at least their first free trip. I have been to Disney and Hawaii both once already for free from Tupperware Wow Trips, and I've earned my third one, and I'm going to pick Disney for the second time. And so that's what I love about these trips, is we can earn as many as we want to. Now, you also get the Confident Start program flyer. Now, as you've joined, you're automatically entered into the Confident Start program, which is the first 13 weeks of your business. And you'll have the opportunity to earn products and grow your kit up to level 7 in that program, where you can choose the Chef Series 2 cookware set or an Apple iPad. So really great to have choice. And that's all with earning those things in your first 13 weeks. How awesome is it that Tupperware gives us a great start to our business? You also get 50 order forms, an apron, and a business kit bag. And these two things I love that they give us, because really it allows us to dress for success without having to worry about going to buy a new wardrobe whatsoever. Put on a pair of black pants and a nice shirt, cover it with your apron, and you look like you're a professional Tupperware person right away. We also get 20 80-page catalogs and 20 monthly brochures. Now, the brochures run mid-month to mid-month. And in fact, this month in particular, in January, is a special month. So we actually have 2 sale brochures, one that runs the full month for January, and then the other one that goes mid-month to mid-month. So the mid-January flyer goes till, I don't have a calendar in front of me, but next Friday, and then the mid-December goes till next Friday, and then mid-January starts next Saturday. So we will have 2 sales brochures for our customers for the entire month of January. So you want to make sure that you're putting your information on the back of both your catalogs and brochures. So put a label that includes your contact information, and that way you can, if you leave it with someone else or someone passes it on to another person, they always have the way to contact you. So it's really important that you label those before you put them out. Also, you'll get dating tools. So we get a pack of dating tools, which are small Tupperware products that you can give to those agreeing to date your first parties with you. And also a pack of tiny treasures. Now, the tiny treasures, if you're not sure what they're used for, you can reference our new consultant album in the Tupperware Facebook group. That's a great place to look up which tiny treasures are which. And what tiny treasures are for, I use them for giving to guests at my first party so that I can give everybody a gift for attending a party or placing an order. Now, also included, and you can see it on the screen here to the right-hand side, but you're not going to actually, it is a card in your box, but nothing more than just this one card, is you receive 40% off branded business cards. And you want to redeem those via VistaPrint. So the instructions for redeeming are on that singular card, and you can actually personalize them before you order as well, which is really awesome. So you get 40% off those business cards. So let's go into one of the things that you're going to need to do right away, which is taking orders. Now, we have 2 types of order forms available: the customer order form, which you're looking at on the left on your screen, and the shopping order form, which is proven to increase sales as well. So you can see it's much more detailed. Now, the one that comes in your kit is the customer order form, so we're going to go over that one in a little bit more detail. So you want to make sure the customer fills out their information completely, because Fortune is definitely in the follow-up for you. So definitely you want them filling out their information so that you have ways to get a hold of them again. You want to collect email addresses for future business. To get their email, you might say something like, oh, hey, KCJ, if you'd like your Tupperware at a discount, make sure to write down your email so you can stay up to date with new products and specials. And we'll talk a little bit about the ease of email lists in a bit as well. Now you want to remind them to check the boxes that they're interested in, things like the full or part-time career, a party, a fundraiser, and a great tip, as you can see on the screen, is to highlight the boxes that you want people to fill out. And this is really a great way to draw their eyes to those places. People are more likely to fill out the boxes that are highlighted than anything else. Now, item number is found in the catalog. It's a 3 to 4 digit number as a regular priced item. And then we also have item numbers that begin with an 8. 5 to 6 digit numbers are sale priced items or purchase with purchase items. So that is true of all numbers. 3 or 4 digit numbers are always regular priced items, and 5 to 6 digit numbers that start with an 8 are always sale or purchase with purchase items. Then we have description and price to fill out. This is always a good thing to get them to fill out because it's a great double check when you're ordering. You don't want them to accidentally write down an order number that they didn't mean. And so if you've got the description written down too, you definitely know what they're wanting for sure. Now, shipping in Canada is $3.95 flat, no matter how much is purchased. So whether they're ordering $20 worth or $200 worth, it is $3.95. So adding the orders together is pretty simple. You add the product total to get the subtotal 1, and then you add the shipping, the $3.95, and then tax rate is based on the shipping address. So in Canada, shipping is taxed, and if your customers question this, let them know it's just a government mandate and not particularly from Tupperware. So we know the 2 things that are for sure in life, death and taxes, as they may be. For sure, taxes is something that we add shipping to first before we calculate the taxes. And then you add it up. So customers can pay by cash, check, made payable to you, Visa or MasterCard. Now, if they pay by cash or check, you have collected your commission immediately right then. If you have an overpayment refund at the end of your order, your commission is paid out by Tupperware in 2 to 4 weeks, either using the Tupperware card, which we'll talk a little bit more later, or by check. Now, note also, this is a good place in case you're noticing, the credit card spot at the bottom of the order form has 4 boxes that are blank to the right of it, and that is for expiry dates. You want to make sure you're taking the expiry down when you're taking somebody's MasterCard or Visa as well. Now, payment should be collected at the time of the order. We really do not recommend placing orders unless you have received payment. Customers can also round up their total for the Change for the Better campaign. So you'll see that as the CFB round up at the while you're calculating the total. And what that is rounding up for the Boys and Girls Club of Canada. So you can click the round box on the order and in the computer for the donation, and it just rounds everything up. So, for example, of this order, you can see it's $232.05. Oh, excuse me, you guys. $232.05. So if the customer chose to round up 95 cents, that we would be charged $233.95 would go to the Boys and Girls Club of Canada. Now, customers receive the pink copy. So you want to make sure your contact information is on that form. The yellow is kept for delivery, and the white is your original order form that you're going to keep for your own records. So again, pink goes with the customer at the time of the order, yellow with the delivery of their Tupperware, and white original order form you are keeping. So the next thing you're probably going to run into fairly quickly is warranty. And we've got a ton of warranty information in lots of different places. You're looking at on the screen there, one of the places that you can get information about warranty, which is in our Salesforce website, so our login website, the my.tupperware.ca, under resources, under product knowledge, and then under the parts catalog and warranty section. Now, warranty items can be ordered alone or with other orders, and shipping and handling is charged for warranty items when ordered alone. A helpful hint about that is to print the warranty guidelines and carry them with you to a party. We create what we call the TOTL line portfolio, and I'll talk about how you can get that a little bit later. And it is really a great information source for things like warranty and more. It's designed to help you at a party, so it's great to have with you. Now, Tupperware is guaranteed for life against chipping, cracking, breaking, and peeling. So our limited lifetime warranty on our plastics is chipping, cracking, breaking, and peeling. One of the things people love about Tupperware is they really don't need a receipt. And that's because every piece of Tupperware says Tupperware on it and has a mold number. With the mold number, you can search for replacement parts in a few different ways. So you can use the item search, which you're looking at on the screen in the top right-hand corner. And that is within our My Sales section, so we can search for mold number there. We can also use the warranty section of my.tupperware.ca. We have both an alphabetical parts index and the numerical parts catalog. Both are really handy for identifying pieces. And we actually have a warranty recorded call that you can listen to in more detail about warranty in our recorded calls and videos album in our Tupperware Facebook group. And we also have a warranty album specifically on that Facebook group. So the other thing that you can do is you can look up mold number by your phone using the Tupperware text messaging service. So you can sign up for the service as long as you have text messaging capabilities. And the sign up details are below in the document that you're looking at. So I'm not going to read them out right now because I know you're capable of reading. So you make sure that you're looking at the orientation guide, and the details for signing up for the text messaging service are there. And it is free as long as your texting is free, of course, as a part of your plan. So what do you actually do with broken Tupperware that you're given? So using a permanent marker, you're going to mark a big X on the either container or seal, whichever portion came broken. Now, I find it really handy to write the customer name and date on each piece of Tupperware that you need to warranty. And that's because you're going to keep it for 30 days. So it's really good practice to write on it so you don't mix it up with anything 30 days later. So we keep the Tupperware for a minimum of 30 days because Tupperware has the option of requesting our broken pieces back at any time from us within that period. So they definitely do quality assurance calls and random spot checks kind of to make sure that we know what we're doing with warranty. And you'll have a reminder pop up when you place any order with warranty in it as well, reminding you to keep those things. So now that we've talked about taking orders and talking a little bit about warranty, how do we actually place those orders? So one of the things that you can do in your first 13 weeks for free is, I'm just going to back up, you guys. Perfect. Here, sorry, I was just going ahead of myself in the slideshow. So in your first 13 weeks of being a new consultant, it's actually free to call in your orders by telephone. So that is an option for you. After that, they charge a nominal fee of 1.5% of the retail party to do it for you after that 13 weeks. And for that reason, and because it's very easy, we generally do our orders online. So my.tupperware.ca is the website that we're going to use online. And within that, we choose My Sales, placing an order, and then we'll see party history. So that's what you're looking at in terms of the steps online on the screen right now. We also have great step-by-step training in our Top-of-the-Line Organization Facebook page. So the New Consultant Start Here album has a link for the How to Submit an Order file, as well as a training area on our Salesforce website. You can also watch for live webinars like this one for how to submit an order. Now, you want to submit retail orders over $100 to avoid an additional $10.50 shipping charge. So again, I'll just repeat that. In general, when you're doing retail orders, you want to make sure that your orders are over $100 to get the best shipping rate. Now, a little bit I mentioned earlier about the Tupperware card. So a little bit more about the Tupperware card. The Tupperware card, you can see on the screen where you go in our My Sales area to sign up for it. And what it is really like a check card. So it has the ability to have a direct deposit out of your checking account and has 3 benefits that are really the main things about it. So one is it allows your customer checks to clear before Tupperware pulls from your account. Funds are debited within 2 to 3 business days. So as an example, if you're putting orders in on Friday, you've collected cash and checks from people, but you don't have time to go to the bank, this is a great function for you because you can go ahead, submit the order, get to the bank on Monday morning with your cash and check, and then, of course, the cost funds are debited out on the Tuesday. Also, Tupperware directly deposits your bonus checks and e-commerce commissions into your checking account when you have the Tupperware card. So no waiting on the mailman for an actual physical check. So even if you're not going to use the Tupperware card for payments, it's worth considering getting it so that you can use it for auto deposits. You can also earn points with your Tupperware card to redeem for supplies, so things like catalogs and brochures or tiny treasures. Also note that while you're in that section, there's, I'll just go back in the slide. So while you're in, it's not going to show it here, but while you're in the My Sales section through the support link, that's where is a great place to look for the regular hours for support if you need to phone any other information. You're also going to find those numbers in our New Consultant Start Here album as well, so that you know all the ways that we can get a hold of Tupperware. So what do we actually want to get started with? And of course, that's the reason why people want to party with us, and it's our base host program. So we've got a lot of really great host gifts that Tupperware gives us on a very base. So in some months, we have more host gifts that you can choose from, but at minimum, the base host gift program always kind of looks like this. Now, this screen is not updated yet for our new catalog. Our new catalog just came out on Saturday. So I'm going to tell you the real numbers, and I don't think your document is quite updated yet, so you can cross it out as we're going through. So the $200 level is now a $225 level. So at $225 of a party, we offer our hosts a free thank you gift. Now for us, this is $5 in consultant cost. So the it costs us $5 in consulting costs, but we provide it to our host free as a thank you for providing the groceries to the party. Then it goes up from there. So at a $325 party, our host earns 10% in host credit and a half price item. At $600, the host earns 15% credit, adds a half price item, and at $1,100, again, it grows to 20% host credit and adding a third half price item, and all of that grows on. So by the time you're having an $1,100 party, even with the base program, our hosts are getting $220 free, 3 half price items, plus that thank you gift. And in fact, for part of January for this week, we have a double host credit. So it's a really great time to do a quick party and take advantage of those double host credits. So what other benefits do we have as consultants from Tupperware? So benefits include a 25% discount on any product, sale or full price. So at minimum, we're getting 25% off for anything that we want ourselves. Also 25 to 35% off Tupperware in our sampling program. So once per month, we get a discount on any new products released and any exclusive host gift options. Now, keeping your account active is easy by submitting $500 in retail sales in a 4-month rolling period. So what I mean by that is the rolling period would be over 4 months, but minusing one, taking another. So as an example, if you put in 125 every month, you would be active for eternity. If you do one party every 4 months, you would be active for eternity. If you do 2 small parties of $250 every 2 months, you would be active for eternity. So you get the drift there. Now, other benefits which you can actually find as noted on the screen here in our my.tupperware.ca site are things like opportunity to earn free Tupperware through challenges, business services like a discount at Staples, and a few more things that you can definitely find in this benefits section. Now, this is a good point to stop and just have a little reminder or a first time for you as you're thinking about all the ways that you can promote your Tupperware business. Selling on eBay and other social media sites is strictly prohibited and can cause the termination of your Tupperware account privileges. So it's important for you to know that. It really is nothing to be scared about, though. But it is important to know that there is the policy there for us to all be on an even playing field. So you want to refer to the social media album for complete details on what is permitted. And I can definitely answer more questions about that at the end of the webinar as well. Now, a few other things that you might want to consider to help you build your Tupperware business is setting up a website. So talked at the very beginning of the webinar about the basic website, which is free, but there are 5 website options to choose from. So the basic, plus, silver, gold, and platinum. Now, basic is free, but we definitely recommend starting with the plus. The plus site, when you first log in, has a 30-day free trial, and the $9.95 US isn't charged until after that 30-day trial is over. Now, enrollment in the basic plan when you first sign up does not include the 30-day plus monthly trial. So only those enrolled in the plus monthly option will be eligible for that 30-day trial. So that's why we suggest always choosing it as the first thing that you need when you log in. So it is $9.95 US per month after that trial. And what's kind of cool about that is that all consultants with the paid my.tupperware.ca site who are working their business, and that's defined as putting in 500 or more in personal sales in the sales period, in the 1-month period, will be able to receive the benefits of e-commerce pool. So that is basically 25% of the commission that everybody as a customer has gone to Tupperware.ca instead of a particular consultant's website. So of course that commission has gone nowhere to no particular person. So Tupperware splits it up between all the people that are working their business as defined by having one of the levels of the paid website, as well as putting in that one party in a month. So generally, I don't get that benefit anymore as a director. I get a different benefit. But when I was getting it as a consultant and a manager, I think the lowest I ever got was about $12 in a month, and the highest was $25. So essentially, just paid for my website anyway, right? So really, the plus site is free to you as long as you're working your business. So with the paid website, you can also do what we call Tupperware Connect. When I can see. There we go. My slides just got switched around. I was wondering what was going on there. So now you're looking at on your screen the Tupperware Connect website, which allows you to connect an in-home party to an online party, which is great. So this is also a great tool for Facebook parties. It allows hosts to reach out to people that can help them with their party or be guests of their party, even when they don't live in the same community. So if they're far away and don't see the host in a great option, this is a great way to ship direct to door. Now, hosts can, of course, have those guests in their house and then still invite the people that are away from their house. Okay, so Tupperware Connect, I think, is a great option for increasing your business. And honestly, generally, when I Tupperware Connect parties, I'll see an increase in sales for sure, because it's always something that's an option for people to take advantage of. So in addition to that, you can have a Tupperware newsletter. I mentioned earlier that collecting email addresses is a really good idea. Excuse me while I just take a drink of water. So the reason for that is you might want to consider doing an automatic email service. There are 2 different companies that work with Tupperware to give us a great email service. The first one is imakenews.com, and that's called the Tupperware Trends e-newsletter. Now for this one, you load your contacts one time and they continue to receive the specials monthly, and you receive a report for who looked at your newsletter and which parts they looked at. The cost for this I Make News newsletter is $5.95 US per month, and the first 2 months are free. And in your document, the website for looking about more information about that is also listed. The second option, which is on the right-hand side of your screen, is Site Impressions, and they send a weekly newsletter. So first one is a monthly, and the Site Impressions is a weekly. Now the weekly includes the recipe, host gift specials, and any weekly sale items that have changed. A subscription to that one is currently $10 per month, and you can visit the website that's listed in the document as well for more information there too. So now that you've got all of kind of the basic tools for getting your business started, you really want to start thinking about dating some in-home parties. Now, as I said at the very beginning, there are lots of ways to make money with our Tupperware business, and you can choose to do it however you want. One of the things that we definitely know, though, is mostly the people that have grown their business the fastest have chosen to do and incorporate in-home parties into the mix. The easiest way to make money in this business is to hold 2 parties with average sales of $600 a week and that can yield you $1,500 in profit a month. And so if $1,500 could make a difference for you in your life and your income, then think about 2 parties a week as a very base level, and that's going to make it happen for you for sure. So how to do that and how to start connecting with people, we like to start by using Frank. So Frank is an acronym, and we're going to start by listing people that you know within these categories of people. So Frank stands for friends, relatives, acquaintances, neighbors, and kid connections. So you can see on the screen, it actually tells you kids, friends, parents, but I don't like to think of it that way. I think of it as kid connections. And the reason for that is I don't have kids myself. And so you may or may not have kids yourself. And I still have lots of kid connections in my life. So there's 2 ways that you can think about kid connections when you don't have kids yourself. So the first obvious way is if you do have kids yourself, through those kids' parents, right? But I have kid connections because I have a nephew. So I definitely know connections because of my nephew's friends' parents, as well as I am a kid. So who do you know because of your mom, right? Or your dad. So we all are kids in some aspect. So who do you know because of your own parents? And so start listing those things out. I want you to really, at a basic level, think about 2 people in each of those categories. And you can start thinking about that right away. Now, you want to use your Frank list to get you started. Once you've listed out those 2 people, so we've got 10 people total at a very minimum, you want to let everyone know that you joined Tupperware. How can they help you if they don't know about your new business? And how can you help them if you don't share about what you have to offer? And definitely, this is where you're going to start using the dating gifts that came in your kit to offer as free gifts for the first people agreeing to date parties with you. So you definitely want to make these lists in the next 48 hours. That's a great way to start having it happening. And you're going to let your director know once you've done that. And hold on to the end of the webinar because I've got a special for you as well. Now, I'm going to list you out kind of a phone script that you can use. Now, there's lots of ways, of course, with our technology these days to connect with people. So you can connect with people with text and Facebook and all that kind of jazz. But very, very honestly, you're going to get a better response and a generally more immediate response when you use the phone. And the phone, I promise you, is 10,000 pounds for many of us. So it is really hard to pick up. It's really heavy, but it's worth it. And so I'm going to read you 2 phone scripts, and you let me know whether you think one or the other one is better. And I'm really going to use kind of the same wording as we go along, and you just let me know which is better. So something like this. Hi, this is Lindsay, and I just joined Tupperware. I'm so excited. I'm looking for my first 5 friends to help me with a practice party, and I thought of you. I have several days that work for me. Is daytime or evening better for you? Okay, or you could say, is weekday or weekend better for you, or I have the 5th or the 10th open, whichever. You want to make sure it works in your schedule. So that's one way to do the script. The other is, hey, it's Lindsay. I know you haven't heard from me in a while, but like something new is that I joined Tupperware, and they're making me do parties, so I need people to practice with, and I thought you might want to. So can ya? Do you see the difference? Right? When you're excited, then the people that you're phoning are going to be excited for sure. So there is a huge difference between offering somebody a party and asking somebody to have a party. Does that make sense? So I want you to think about that first script, that you're offering a service to somebody and you're excited about offering that service to somebody. Now, you want to offer choices of dates that you actually have open, of course, right? Once a party date is set, then you're going to set a time within the next day or 2 to coach your host. And host coaching is really important because this is what's going to help your host know and be ready for the party. You really want to book the party into the next 2 to 3 weeks. 1, so that you can really take advantage of that confident start program that you're in, but 2, because you really want to get your business going quickly and start making some money, right? Now, what do you say if a yes isn't given when you ask the question? 1, you're not going to take it personally. But 2, and if this is the only thing you remember from this webinar, you guys, I think it's the most important thing to take from it. If you get a no, your response should be, is that a no, not now, or a no, not ever? Rarely, 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 rarely is it a no, not ever. So usually people mean that it's a no, not now. And so that certainly gives you opportunity to follow up with them later. Now, you can also ask people if it's a no, not now. Do you know someone who may need Tupperware and want to earn it for free? Maybe you could help me be being an order taker over the next couple of weeks. Or may I send you a new catalog and check back with you, right? So after you've dropped off a catalog or sent one in the mail, then you can certainly follow up with them and invite them to something as an outside activity. That might be your grand opening party, or it might be an event that's happening in your area. If you get a maybe, your response can definitely be, okay, that's fine. May I call you back at a more convenient time? Our host rewards are so exciting, and I can't wait to share them with you, right? So you want to keep that conversation going, and that really is the great thing about having a conversation with someone on the phone is it gives you the opportunity to do some back and forth. Now, congratulations for getting on today, you guys. Thank you for investing your time in your business. Knowledge is power, and we have a ton of training opportunities. It will feel overwhelming at first that there's lots to learn, but just remember that no one knows everything about their job the first time on the first day that they start it, right? And so make sure you're taking advantage of the training opportunities and learn as you go. That's a-okay. That's what we're here for. So we have lots of team meetings and training events, locations across Canada. In our Top of Line Facebook organization group, we have an events tab, and you'll find in the events tab all of the in-person events as well as lots of online events as well. Now, even though you're not quote-unquote invited to some of those events, you are invited. If you can see it, it's an event that you're invited to. Facebook, of course, has some restrictions about how many people we can invite at a time, etc., and our group is quite large, so make sure that you're checking back to that events tab quite regularly. We also have lots of training conference calls and webinars. Also in that events tab, you're going to find those things, but we also have a recorded calls and webinars album in our photo album in that Top of the Line group that you can listen to recorded calls as well. We also have confidence events. So generally we have what we call a confidence event every season. The next one coming up is Spring Fling. And so we have 2 Spring Flings in Canada, one in Halifax and one in Saskatoon. That's where the base of our teams are. And it is a great opportunity from a training perspective to travel to one of those 2 places and learn as well. And then we also do our Tupperware Jubilee. Jubilee is a national event, well, really Canada and US together, which is held at our world headquarters at Orlando, which happens every August. And honestly, Jubilee is one of my favorite times of the year. Now, training parties. There are lots of opportunities for you to watch training parties. You can go to a party with one of your upline if you live near the area that they do, but we also have training opportunities online as well. And of course, you've got training one-on-one by request. So if there is something that you want to go over or you want to talk a little bit more detailed about things, then definitely talk to your director about that, because there is an opportunity to set up one-on-one training always. And then that my.tupperware.ca site that we started talking about at the beginning of this webinar, a ton of training opportunities in there as well. Something for sure that you're not going to be able to say, if you leave Tupperware or a Top Line organization, you will not be able to say that the training wasn't available to you. So remember, when you show up, you grow up. It's really important to ask and search for what you need. If you don't ask for what you need, we don't know you need it. As much as I'd love to be able to read minds, it is not a skill I have acquired yet. So what are some great more resources that you can use? We've talked a lot today about our Facebook group. So Top of the Line on Facebook. We have a ton of photo albums, a files list, and events. And those are great resources to look at quickly. I've also mentioned the recorded calls and videos album, and we have some paper resources too. So earlier I did mention our Top of the Line portfolio. We also have thank you postcards, event invites, and lead slips. All of these types of paper resources we order en masse to make it cheaper for everyone, and we provide it to you at cost plus shipping. So that's a great way to take a look at what's kind of happening and use aids as we're going through as paper resources as well. Okay, so we do have a business tools and promotions album on our Top Line Facebook group, and that's where you're going to find the supplies list up to date as well. And in your document, you can see the email address to order if you choose to do that as well. Now, other resources include Vistaprint as well as a few other things that you can certainly use as we're going along. So as we're thinking about final thoughts, before we do that, you in January, you actually have already received your first award and incentive by Tupperware. So just by joining our team this month, oh, excuse me, you guys, just by joining our team in January, you earned the Vent and Serves, and you have the opportunity to also increase the Vent and Serve set with your activation offer. So there is what we call the Say Yes sheet, which probably your recruiter, the person that added you to the team, definitely shared with you. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, then definitely you can ask your director or the person that added you to the team so that you can talk about that. The activation offer happens when you have your first party in the same month that you joined. So if you joined us in January, definitely book your grand opening party for January so that you can take advantage of that. When you put your first $600 in, you'll be able to earn that activation award and get a head start on your Confident Start as well. Now, those types of awards come to us in the form of coupons in our system, and coupon days are Fridays. Now, that Say Yes coupon might take a couple of weeks to load, and they're generally available for a month after they load. So you want to definitely keep an eye on those coupons so that you don't miss out on them, because they definitely do expire. And once they expire, they're gone. So I would love to take final thoughts and questions now as well. So as you're typing and thinking of any questions that you have, I'm just going to give you a few things to think about. You want to work your business on your schedule. Tupperware really is the perfect fit for any lifestyle. As I mentioned a couple of times, we have over 50 directors in our Tupperware organization, and we are all very different people. So we have directors who are single moms, and we have directors who have moms with little kids in groups under 5, and we have, like myself, directors who don't have husbands or kids and do Tupperware full time. We also have directors who do Tupperware alongside another full-time job. So you can definitely fit Tupperware into your lifestyle. It's just up to you to decide how you want to do that. It is important to remember to share your dreams with us, and we'll help you make them come true. If we don't know what those goals and dreams are, we really can't help you get there. As we mentioned so many times, there are so many reasons people choose to be in the Tupperware business, and so we can't assume for anybody what it is that you want. So make sure that you're communicating that. And then I want you to continue with your first grand opening party. Chat with your upline director or the person that added you to the team to help you get started. And remember, you're not aiming for a big fat Greek wedding. You want to think big, but you want to start small. And the most important thing is to begin now. Okay, so next, if you're interested in next steps, the next thing that I would take advantage of as well is the kit issue video that's by Cheryl, who is one of our training and development people at head office. And that's linked in the New Consultants Start Here album on our Facebook group. Or we actually do a kit issue as a part of our Sunday evening webinars at 8:30 p.m. CST every Sunday night. So if there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and give you your challenge for today. So if you're watching this webinar as a recording, then you're eligible for the challenge too. Thank you so much for sticking it out with us and investing time in the business, in your own business, to watch and participate today. So what you're going to do is a challenge you can see up on the screen right there. It really has 3 parts. You're going to start by making that frank list that we talked about, and you're going to add 2 names to each category. And once you've done that, let your director know. So you can call, you can email him or her, or you could send a Facebook message, right? So communicate with your director and let them know that you're done making your frank list. Now, write down why you joined the team and what you hope to gain from it. And I want you to share that with your director as well. And then I also want you to post 3 things on our Tupperware Facebook group that you learned from watching today. Okay, so when those 3 things are done, and feel free to tag me in that post that you post 3 things that you learned from today, because I love to know who's watching, and so that I can cheer you on throughout the month as well. And again, my name is Lindsay Markland. But also please tag your director in those 3 things they learned. And that's how they're going to know that you did it. And your director will have a small gift for you when you complete this challenge. So thank you so much, you guys, for, again, logging on with us today and being a part of Invest in Your Business. I'm so excited to start seeing your names pop up throughout the month. And please do let your director or your upline recruiter know if you have any questions. Have a great Impossible month.